we have a special guest. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be excellent because today we have several people in our group. And before I stop the share, I would like to let you know, please comment live if you're watching live. And if you're watching on the replay, please comment replay. So today we have several guests. I'm stopping that share screen. You see all these beautiful people out here in our Facebook page or whatever you call this. You see all these beautiful people. They are live with us here, all of us here. You see Jimmy Stout. You see Barbara, you see Marjorie, you see everyone here. Oh gosh, I think this is the first time we're doing this, right? But there's always a first time, right? There's always a first time. So we're doing this as a, what you call Winning Wednesday webinar. As you can see, the people who are in the Facebook Live are actually the one who went to the registration thing and then now in their meeting link. So again, if you are watching live, please comment live. And if you're in the actual Zoom, please type in, we are in the Zoom. We are in the Zoom. There you go, Zoom. All right. Okay. So today we got special guests. We got Emma. We've got Mr. Jimmy Stout. We got Michelle. And the next challenge here, well, I was telling James and Jimmy, I was telling Jimmy and then Adrian earlier, we're going to learn today from all these big bosses that we know, but also we have to learn how to do. Once we've learned how to do, then we become what we want to be. So today we're going to challenge you. We're going to challenge you how to be the best that you can be. So the next challenge for those people who are actually inside the Zoom call, I would love for you to, I would love for you to show your video. Show your video. In that way we would know what you're doing. Well, of course, put on some good, wearing t-shirt or whatever, but Diagela Nerves, Mario Oropesa, and Latoya Jackson, go ahead. If you're comfortable, you have to learn, you take off, you show your video. All right, because that's going to be the next level here. We want you to move on to the next level. So without further ado, I'm going to pass on the microphone to my awesome host, Miss Emma, Dr. Emma Shapiro. Take the microphone, sister. I see Diagela now showing her
There
video.
we go. Lots of amazing people.
There you go. So, all right, Emma, go ahead, take over.
Okay, I'll pin myself. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for coming to this very first free business mentor meeting. We really wanted to do this, myself, Michelle, Jimmy, Shayna, and Mike, because so many people had questions about what kind of therapy business to create. And the more and more you actually learn, the more you realize that there's many different types of therapy businesses out there. And so we wanted to help create this question and answer format so that you can know, oh, that's the right model for me, and that's not the right model for me. We're all about giving you those next steps and really making sure that you're on the right path. And so we have amazing speakers. We have Shayna, who is a representative from Optonomy, and she is a CEO of Inspire Home and Health, and that's her own home health agency created by Optonomy. And then we have Michelle, who's a wonderful occupational therapist who's created her own practice, and she's just blossoming, and she's doing so many really neat things. I'm not going to share all the neat things, but you're just going to learn that there's more than just one way to serve our patients. We've got contracting you're going to learn about working with assisted living facilities, creating your own agency. And I think more than ever, what I'm so proud to share about these amazing individuals is that they're creating businesses that are work-life balance oriented, as well as community oriented, and really just outstanding. All of these individuals are serving their patients so much, but also their employees. Like Shayna will tell you how they're setting the standards in terms of payment and how they treat the employees underneath their home health agency, which isn't always the case. So there's so many great, amazing people. And I don't know who wants to get started first. I'm going to pass off the mic now so that you can learn about each one. Let's see. Jimmy, Michelle, Shayna. Let's see. Who wants to go first? Type in the chat there. Like to know. Okay, every jurisdiction. Okay, perfect. Well, let's start off, I think, with Shayna, and then we can go from there. So I will unmute Shayna, and I'm going to pin you now, Shayna, so that everyone can see you. Awesome.
Sounds good. Did you want to pull up some of the info now, or do you want to do that later?
Yeah, go ahead and get started, and I'll pull up that
Okay.
info to show people.
Sure. So I'm a visual person, so I just came with like a picture too, just to give you like a full picture. But I'm Shayna Young. I am right outside of Philly in a town called Havertown, and my agency is called Inspire Home and Health. It is a community-based home health care agency serving adults with disabilities. And in about a year, I'm planning on adding older adults as well, because I really love older adults, but I'm getting started with adults with disabilities. Yeah, about a year and a half ago, I was in a job in a good setting, you know, and I liked what I was doing, but I didn't like how I was doing it. I felt like most of us, like documentation was ruling what I was doing, and insurance-based. And I just remember I loved being an OT, and I loved working with patients, but I just felt like the computer like was my boss. And I just remember one day just like typing and being like, okay, what's your pain level? And my patient was crying, and I'm just typing away because I have to think about, if I don't get my stuff done, I'm not gonna be able to see my daughter at the end of the day, and I'm gonna stay late. And it just like struck me like, I'm not helping anymore. So I stumbled upon autonomy, and one of the first things that really drew me into autonomy was that you can have a work-life balance and be, you know, who you were meant to be in your profession. And for me, that's an occupational therapist, and I can legit do occupation-based activities, and my staff can focus on that too. And I just love that I'm doing things stuff that I would imagine in school, which is I'm helping people, you know, maintain friendships. I'm helping people take public transportation. I'm helping an adult with disability be able to start a family. Like, these are legit occupation-based things that Medicaid reimburses. You do very well off of Medicaid, and I can show that. But I just am in a very comfortable spot that I'm proud of what I'm doing, and I'm proud that my staff is getting livable wages and the ability to earn more with opportunities. And I love that my consumers are able to live meaningful lives. So yeah, that's a little gist of me. Oh, you're muted, Emma.
There we go. I was miming for a minute. Here we go, Shayna. I've got the screen shared if you want to go through any of these.
Yeah, so I'll just briefly go over this. So, you know, having a home healthcare agency is not just like, here you go. It's like an onion. There are different layers to forming an agency. So what does autonomy do? Autonomy, if you look at the blue side, you have a complete home healthcare agency within 6 to 12 months, depending on your state, for adults with disabilities and older adults. You're authorized to bill under multiple payers. So in a lot of home healthcare agencies, you're sometimes fixated on one, just private pay or Medicaid or Medicare, but we get you qualified in everything under the rainbow. So Medicaid, Medicare, Med C, which is Medicare Advantage, private insurance, and private pay. You will get CEO mentorship and training throughout this whole experience, and you will be able to connect with this clinical network. There's 93 of us. There's 93 people, including Mike Chua, who's one of our CEOs. So he's going to be the expert on dementia.
Oh, Mike Chua.
And autonomy is your complete back office. So autonomy creates your agency with you side by side, because this isn't a franchise. Like, this is your business. This is your mission and vision statement. But then autonomy, after they create it for you, comes your complete back office. So once you understand how to run your back office, which autonomy does for you, you shouldn't outsource to anyone. by the end of the day, it should only take you 15 minutes to do back office work, which really, again, focuses on the client and not, what I was dreading, which was like documentation.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, and even this actually took me a little bit of time to understand what autonomy was. And it's essentially like they're helping you get started, helping you create your business, but they're sort of more like a software, right, Shayna? Like you're more of a software, but you're just also being so gracious in the fact that you're helping do all the business startup, because that's where a lot of people lose track and struggle. So they're just like, helping you get started as well as helping you with the whole process. And I think what's really neat is the marketing and finding the patients component. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Shayna, or I'll let you keep going with it?
Yeah, no, let's roll with it. So yeah, Autonomy, after your agency has been created, Autonomy also is your marketing team. So Autonomy does your brochures. Autonomy creates all of your channels, your YouTube channel, your Facebook business, and your Instagram. And Autonomy does postings on those. Autonomy creates your commercials. So you do some videos talking about your clinical expertise, which wasn't hard for me to do the videos. And then Autonomy creates these commercials, gets them sent out to your support coordinators. Your support coordinators is your referral source in your city. So contacts them and markets for you. And you just have like weekly meetings with Autonomy, like how's the marketing going this week? What is our plan? Until you have the number of consumers that you want to have on your caseload.
Awesome.
Well, let me just clarify. Sorry about that. Let me go back. A lot of people, we get confused with Autonomy and everything. So Emma, do you mind removing the slide?
Yeah, yep. Let me stop screen share. There we go.
There you go. I would like to explain all this the reason why we have all three people here right now, Jimmy, Shayna, and Michelle. There are three different sources of income in the therapy world, okay? The three different sources of income. We all know Part A, Medicare Part A, all right? We all know that when we bill Medicare through the home health agency or through this nursing home or through the hospital. So that's Medicare Part A, okay? That's Medicare. What is that? CMS, Center for Medicaid and Service, Shayna, right? So CMS is over, and then first part is Medicare Part A. The other part, obviously, the second part is the Medicare Part B. That is where Jimmy comes in teaching us how to bill Medicare Part B, or that's where Michelle comes in and all the services that she provides. You know what the other part is? The Medicaid system, the DIDD, the Department of Intellectual Disability. That is where Shayna comes in. So imagine that if you have a therapy business and you have all of them, I'm saying YMCA. No. All right. So you have that umbrella there. You're not just an outpatient clinic. You're also serving Part A through home health agencies, like what Jimmy is doing. And you have this outpatient Part B, like what Michelle is doing, if you're an occupational therapist. And there's this third thing here, where Shayna provides that Medicaid DIDD services. Imagine three things. It's a three-legged stool, just like a chair, like a stool. Take off one, guess what? What happens when you take off one? It's going to fall, right? It's going to fall. But if you have all three of them, we have to diversify. We just cannot be in just one business now.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if you have one clinic now, if you have one business, one clinic, and all this COVID thing happens again, and it's going to happen again. Guess what? That clinic's going to be closed. Where are you going to get your extra income? And this is where all this business concept we're talking about, wherein you have multiple sources of income still under our therapy field. So Part A, where Jimmy comes in teaching us how to contract with different home health agencies, right? And then Part B with Michelle, you see my flexibility there. Part B, and then Part C. Actually, the Medicaid, is that Part C? No, I don't know.
That's another one.
So
C.
ABC. So
C is a really important one for older adults. You can provide, I don't think people realize you can provide a lot of non-medical services for Medicare Advantage Part C. That is a huge, the government just opened a lot of doors to accept home care. So, you know, you can be a part of that as a therapist. You can provide home care services for older adults. There are a lot of windows for that now to do. So Autonomy does that for you. Autonomy gets you qualified for Medicare Advantage too.
There you go. So you see the concept there, just like Jane mentioned here. Then there are waiver programs. That's where Shayna comes in. So imagine you having a business program, or whatever, a business umbrella, and you've got different branches there. And guess what? With that 3 stools, those 3 legs there, it's going to stand well. It's going to stand well. Well, of course, if something happens, you know, really tragic, you die or whatever, obviously it's going to fall. But you know what I mean? You have somebody leading this branch of your department. You've got the middle part, the part B. You got your, I can't move my other finger. You know what I mean? That 3rd finger there. And you've got 3 businesses operating. Imagine that, ladies and gentlemen. Not just one, not just an outpatient clinic, not just Shayna's program, the DIDD, because I don't know if something happens to the state or the waiver program, or not just Part A because they fired you in that Part A program, or from that contract that you had from an agency, like what happened to me last year. But if you have 3, your Part A program, your Part A contracting with home health, you got your outpatient Part B, Medicare, and then you got that state waiver or whatever you call that they're talking about, ABI for group homes, like what Jane and Shayna's talk about. All 3 of them, guess what? We're going to achieve financial freedom. And we're not just talking about financial freedom just for ourselves. We're talking about financial freedom for our family. We're talking about financial freedom for our employees, because it's not just us now. You're going to provide a good living wage for your employees. You're going to hire a PTA. You're going to hire another OT, another PT, another DSP. What do you call that? A CNA or whatever. And that's what we want you to be, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we want you to be, because we cannot do this all on our own. Guess what? I'm here in Martin, Tennessee. Somebody probably needs your services in whatever, in wherever, you know, New Jersey or whatever, Florida. So that's our goal, to educate you, to teach you how you can have multiple sources of income through Shayna, through Jimmy, through Michelle, through Emma, and of course through me. You know, I'm just a little kid here trying to join, but you know what I mean. All right. So that's the 3 things that we're going to be talking about today. All right. I'll stop talking. Go ahead, Shayna. I hope I was able to explain that, because a lot of people, they get confused. What is Shayna doing, Michael? It's not home health. It's actually a different source of income there. That makes sense?
Yeah.
That was great. That was great, Mike. That was great. That was like an amazing, and I think that really helped people understand why we have everyone on today all at once, is because it's network. It's all about your network. And if you have these multiple ideas and multiple concepts, your business actually will grow and be, you know, flourish even more. So Mike said it amazingly. Awesome.
Well, thank you. I think that's the way to tell me, Michael, shut up and let Shayna talk. So I'm going to just shut up. Go ahead, Shayna.
You want me to share the screen again, Shayna, or you're good?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be cool.
Okay.
Yeah, because Michael told it to Shayna. Sorry. I'll let you take
I lose track, but yeah, so I'm not going to go over this in full detail. I have a lot of information about this, but I just want to give you some numbers. People want to know, if this is my business, how much am I going to make? So this is what, you know, we talked about work-life balance at the beginning of this presentation or this webinar. So this model right here on the left-hand side, you're looking at non-medical and you want to work 10 hours a week. That's around the gross net that you'll be making, $187,200. Actually, I take that back. After you pay your staff. So that's what you're left with after you pay your staff. Okay. So when you walk away and you pay your staff, you pay Autonomy to be your complete back office, because Autonomy is running your back office. This is what you're left with. On the right hand side, once you add medical, so medical is adding 24-hour care, adding a nurse, assisting with medication management. Those are what we would call deemed medical or direct occupational therapy. So same thing, hours are increased a little bit more when you are in medical, But that's the total number that you could be getting again after you pay staff and after you pay autonomy. So that's roughly with the Medicaid model. But I didn't include Medicare Advantage or things like that, because typically people start out serving adults with disabilities. So this is what you're looking within your first full year.
Not too bad.
And then this last one just shows like how you will start. Again, it's your business, so I like to talk about this because we all have different ways that we want to grow our business. So we do give you a successful formula. We give you a formula where you will do well and you will get the financial revenue that you are looking for. Like if you want to earn more, you want to do more hours, that's fine. It's your work-life balance. If you want to work a full week, that's up to you. But it starts out the first 12 months, non-medical services. So again, different mindset. We're not providing direct occupational therapy. In this area, you can provide non-medical services, which is actually life skill training, budgeting, maintaining healthy friendships, taking public transportation, helping them find a job. So that's what you're doing the first 12 months. You get your referrals when autonomy markets for you. And then the next 12 months, if you want to add in medical, and then if you want to add in older adults, that's what you can do in the second year. This model is like this because it takes longer. It takes longer for you to, if you wanted to go home healthcare agency, it takes about 2 full years, even if you're doing it on your own. So that's why we slowly add in non-medical is the fastest way to go, and then adding in medical. So we do everything at a graded pace, a steady pace, and a successful pace. So you're doing well. But then after that, like the ball's in your court. If you want to add art therapy or hippotherapy or older adult exercise group, what your specialty is, that's all on you, and you can create what you want to do with your business.
Awesome. Thank you, Shayna. Awesome. Well, I know everyone probably has a lot of questions, but we have several other amazing speakers. So I think what we're going to do now is go to our next amazing speaker. And then at the end, everyone please stay to the end, because then at the end, we're going to break out the Q&A. So if you want to right now, though, while the questions are fresh in your mind, put them in the chat, and then we will address all those questions in the chat at the end. And if you can't make it for us to address your question, no problem. We're going to address all the questions in the chat, and I'm going to give all the recording either tonight or tomorrow via email, and we'll post it, and it's also in the group, so you can look back there. So I think let's, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Michelle. Let me unmute, and I'm going to pin Michelle. Thank you so much, though, Shayna.
Hey everyone. Oh, sorry. Are you done?
You are good. This is Michelle. Everyone, go ahead and introduce yourself, Michelle. Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Michelle. I'm from Buffalo, New York. I am an occupational therapist. Most of my experience was in skilled nursing, but I've always been an entrepreneur. I have just always had some kind of side hustle going on. So when I graduated, and I apologize for that in the background, but when I graduated, I'm so sorry, give me one moment.
I have a crazy kitty who does that all the time, so.
Babies will be babies, which is a good segue into being able to, I wanted to start my business. I am so sorry, guys, but I'm just going to push forward. Being able to start a business and work for myself and have the flexibility and the autonomy that I need to be able to start a family. So in the last 4 years, I have had 3 children, and I have been able to start and grow my business through having a family. And so kind of like Shayna was saying, it's so important to have that work-life balance. And sometimes it's hard to do when you are employed in a 9-to-5, or you're in a setting that is not as flexible with time. And so when I was in skilled nursing, I kept seeing a lot of holes, right? If any of you are in skilled nursing, you know that people are coming in and kind of treat them for 10 weeks, and then they leave, and then they come back. And that pattern, it was very frustrating to me. And so as an occupational therapist, one of the emerging practice areas where we can really thrive in is in the community. As you know, perfect example, Shayna, right? We have these alternative ways to get involved in the community and do our work as occupational therapists by going out on our own. So in 2016, I started a independent living consulting endeavor, and that's Aging with Purpose. And that's when that kind of took shape. And what I did was I just started networking with independent senior living communities. A lot of that decline begins right in those communities. And so what I did was I went in and I did environmental consultations. So screening the environment, giving them very feasible, like economically, financially, very feasible steps that they can take to make their environments more accessible to their residents. From there, because I had such a great response, I started developing programs. In school, we learned a lot about program development and aging in place. And so I took that and I started making programs for these communities to implement. And with that, I was able to actually hire people to go in and do those programs as well. So being able to hold the business, the residents in those independent senior living communities is actually something that these communities are looking for. And they are popping up everywhere. I know around here in Buffalo, my goodness, a new independent senior living community apartment community is popping up on like every block. So occupational therapy really can have a role there. And I'll show you that model as well. So that's how I started in 2000, gosh, I don't know, almost 2 years ago now. I started Buffalo Occupational Therapy, which is Medicare Part B, and then Medicare Advantage, so Medicare C, the HMOs, working with a lot of HMOs and insurance companies, and that's direct occupational therapy services. I do have a clinic, although I started at my kitchen table, right? All of this started at my kitchen table, and I just slowly added on to that. So I moved from my kitchen table to an office, and then from my office, we opened last year a 1,200 square foot clinic for just occupational
I'm still on
therapy.
kitchen table.
I am still at this kitchen table has done me well. Same kitchen table, guys. So magic, right? When I moved into that 1,200 square foot space for occupational therapy, that's a little bit non-traditional, right? There's not a lot of OT clinics popping up everywhere. But with our model of practice, we primarily treat older adults. So we primarily do geriatric rehabilitation, and we do a lot of neuro-based rehab as well. However, we do a continuum plan of care. So we really try to leverage the full scope of practice of occupational therapy. So we start in the clinic working on a lot of the body structures, right? And a lot of that biomechanical piece of rehab. And then as an occupational therapist, we can merge right into the home. And so being able to have that full plan of care has been able to, we can repeat that process. And because we're in the community, these people will keep coming back, as occupational therapists really should be represented in the community. Most of my clients will have kind of like come back. Every time they go to the hospital, they will call me as their community-based occupational therapist. I will go to the house. I will make sure that they are able to readapt into their environment. But then if they need rehab services, I'm also able to implement those through Medicare Part B. So it is I have a very specific model that I followed for marketing and for patient acquisition. And here I am.
I think that's amazing. Shout out to Michelle for doing this all while managing family and children, and all from that kitchen table. I think we have to auction off the kitchen table, Michelle.
I'll pass it down.
That's awesome. I think that's just, I think you've created this wonderful model that is really like what you said, you know, making sure that you're driving occupational therapy to its fullest. And I think that's sometimes where we're missing these different points. And so having that so many different features that you're providing, I mean, we always talk about marketing and people don't know us. Well, I mean, there's so many more things that you can do as an OT, as a PT. And that's why, you know, I'm so proud to share you and to brag about you.
I think touching just one more thing, just adding on to what Mike was saying, I think when you're an entrepreneur and you want to come out as therapists or people in the healthcare field in general, looking for alternative healthcare careers, even if you just have a tiny little interest in entrepreneurship, right? We have learned so much, like we have such a general skill set and we developed different like niche areas that it only takes that first step. And in that core, like just stepping out there, you do find that you can start to develop all of these different lines of income, like residual income, and then like direct care services. And you have all of that backing you up with the skill sets you have like right now. You don't have to go back to school. You don't have to do any of that. You can just begin to leverage the skill sets you already have. So I think it's awesome. All of you guys, it's just phenomenal. I'm excited to hear from everybody else.
And leverage the mentorship too. I mean, I think I would never, I mean, I'm a PT, not an OT, but as an OT, I would never think of certain things that you mentioned. I would never, you know how to transition from one phase to the other. So I think leveraging your knowledge is so powerful. Okay, well, let me, anything else you want to share, Michelle? Otherwise, we'll go to Jimmy. And at the end, we're going to bring everyone back on. And once again, if anyone has any questions, put them in the chat, because take advantage of the amazing knowledge that these therapists have to share.
I just want to reiterate what Michelle mentioned. Spell reiterate, right, Emma? I just want to reiterate what Michelle mentioned. She started with her kitchen, what do you call that? Kitchen table. You don't have to start big, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to start big, but you got to start somewhere else. You got to start somewhere else. If you need to start in your closet, you know, I was thinking doing my podcast in my closet one time, putting a title like the closet guy or whatever. If you need to start your business in your own one-bedroom apartment, in your own studio apartment, you can do this. It doesn't have to be complicated. The key here is taking action, ladies and gentlemen. That's what Michelle did. That's what Michelle did. She took action. And it like what she said, it wasn't perfect. I mean, guess what? She has that big clinic now. Do you think it's perfect? I would say it's not. I'll be confident it's not. She probably still has something to want to improve in that big clinic. But guess what? She took action. Same thing with what I do right now. I mean, I don't have a physical clinic. You know, the next speaker, Jimmy, I would always call him. I would ask him, hey, Jimmy, am I ready to rent a room in this assisted living? You know what he would tell me? He's like a millionaire guy there. You know what he would tell me, ladies and gentlemen, ACG? He would tell me, Michael, don't rent a space yet. Set up a small table in that assisted living and use what you've got. Use what you've got. You know what? I used that kitchen table, what Michelle was using. Just kidding. You know, use what you've got. Some people are doing mobile therapy. They don't have a physical clinic. So that's what I'm doing right now. Going to different houses and providing therapy services, part B. So if it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be big. All right. So, all right. I'm sorry, Emma. I'm just passionate about taking action.
No, you're so helpful, Mike. Okay. Well, let me bring on Jimmy. I feel like I'm like on Wheel of Fortune or something, or like Jeopardy. And next up.
Well, you need to have that number turning around, right? Okay, letter A. Ding, ding,
Exactly.
ding, ding. Something like that. I think you need to do that, right? All right. Okay. Go ahead, Jimmy.
How's everybody doing? So thank you for seeing such awesome business ideas already. One thing that's really neat just about being an entrepreneur is like there's a lot of excitement around hearing other leaders in the area. And so just hearing those other two kind of ideas of successful businesses even gets my own mind excited and turning, because we're a family of entrepreneurs, and all of us are here to help people. And I think it's a wrong person can get caught up trying to chase I don't know, money, or chase power, or any other things that are just the wrong area. But if we're in this to serve people better, if we're in this to bring value, that alignment is going to lead to success, and ultimately that'll lead to probably profit. It'll lead to time at home with your families, and that's what it's all about. It's about helping people and doing it well. I think my story is not any different than probably your own or other people. I also worked at larger corporate offices. I eventually decided this is just not for me. It was, you hear the words, you hear burnout, you hear going through the motion, you hear all of it. And the reality is that, like, eventually you're going to seek something you're more passionate about, that nobody will do something as well as you will. And so ultimately, a lot of us come to the decision that the best thing I can do is to go ahead and start my own business or my own company or my own group, and then be able to lead and lead effectively. And so I've been able to do that with my company, Stout Healthcare. My wife, she was the one, the brains, the beauty, the everything that's awesome about our company is really a product of her kind of stepping up and saying, she also works, she's a speech therapist. And so I'm a physical therapist, she's a speech therapist. And we both were deciding, hey, the way they're doing business in our places that we're working as employees is it's just not ethical, or it's not right, or it's just not good anymore. And so when we kind of decided together we were going to do our own company, it just lit a fire that got us both really excited. And so our model is operating out inside of assisted living communities. And to get there, there are steps that you have to go through. As Mike mentioned, your first step may not be leasing a space and just having that contract in place. There's a lot of value you can bring before then, and just being able to get in and work with one of the older adults that live in there is going to get some face value. It's going to get recognition. And I kind of walk through all the phases in our course, and we kind of talk through the steps, and I won't spend time right now going through that. But the biggest idea here is that if you're leasing space inside of the building, so picture this, just 100 residents live inside of this one space. This community that they live in is their home, and I am leasing a space inside there. I have very low overhead. Some of these assisted living communities already have gyms, and some of them have equipment. So you may not even need to bring a lot of equipment. That being said, we spent money. We brought in a table. We brought in, weights. We brought in therapy equipment, and kind of stocked it up. And then once we're in there, there's all sorts of things we can do. So we provide what you would call the Medicare Part B or outpatient services. That's not just with Medicare, it's with anybody we choose to be credentialed with and use their insurance, or to be cash-based out of network. You have all the options. So we provide those services. And then as we began doing that, we provided such a great quality service that the residents that were living there started to notice a difference between the home health therapy that was provided by these agencies coming in compared to the therapy that we were. And actually was the residents that started saying, there's a big difference between the kind of therapy I get when, the Stout Healthcare team is working with us. And so eventually they actually advocated for us being able to do everything, which at the time I wouldn't have known that was a model, but I know that there's other people like Mike is doing this, and other people where you contract with home health agencies. And so we set up a contract with home health agencies. And so now if somebody needs therapy, quick example is maybe they did have a fall, unfortunately, maybe there's a fractured hip and they come back. Oftentimes they're on that Part A benefit under home health therapy. Well, we now have a contract with the home health agency. We're the familiar face that they know, that they trust, that's in the building day in and day out. So we provide that therapy as a contractor for the home health group. We use their software, and they train us in that. They pay us. We submit an invoice every month to the agency, and we get paid. Now, fast forward, they discharge from home health. Maybe they're no longer homebound, or maybe they've met their goals. That same person now, if appropriate, I can then pick up under Part B with our own company. And so now we're treating this person. You can kind of follow that continuity of care, right? So we're the same person, same therapist. Now we're in the room. Maybe we're going into our gym space and we're doing therapy again. And we fast forward, medical necessity is still present. We continue, we reach our goals, we discharge, and then that person's still now in the community. And so, fast forward, now we have wellness services we can offer them. And so there's, Pilates, there's exercise, there's group things, there's all sorts of things you can do if you want to. And so then if something does happen, time goes on and they decline for some reason, that whole cycle can begin again. And even on the bookends of it, if somebody really declines and goes into hospice care, we even have contracts in place with the hospice agencies serving the ALF there. And so we can provide some therapy benefits to the hospice agencies. And it's not, they may give us 4 or 5 visits. But again, we can capture meaningful work, which is valuable. We've been entrusted with the lives of these older adults, and we can make a profit and a living comfortably while providing a service we love. So it is such an exciting career for me as an entrepreneur, because there's so many revenue streams that can come in. There's such a presence of that continuity of care, and I'm literally living in their home. I'm working in their home that they live in. And so sometimes I do literally live in there because, well, anyways, it's a lot of excitement around being able to be inside of their space and getting to know them. These older adults, I don't want to go on a tangent, but I'm such a big hashtag old but not weak, abolishing ageism, just being these older adults. Yes, that's all they are, is older, but it doesn't mean anything else. And I know everybody else who's spoken would be in agreement with that, because whoever your ideal client is, we can help them. And so this is just another model like any of the others. Opportunity to be able to provide care and do it in a way that can really bring a lot of profit to you and your family, and it's scalable. So and we've been very blessed and did a great job, and so now our company's growing. We have more opportunity, which means we're bringing on team members. And so my job is becoming less of the self-employed and more of the business owner. But guess what that ultimately does? It gets me more time at home with the family. So awesome option, something that I'm really excited about, love talking about. And if it's something you're interested in the Q&A, we can talk about it, or down the road, reach out at any point. So thank you.
Awesome.
Oh, wow.
I'm my brain is overload. Type in overload in the chat if you feel a little overwhelmed right now with maybe all the options that we've provided you. And that's okay. That's actually why we put we brought all these amazing people together, because it is overwhelming, but we're here to answer your questions. That's okay. Yeah, it's very overwhelming. I'm overwhelmed. I'm just a Joe Schmo PT. I let Mike, Shayna, Michelle, and Jimmy do this, and I'm just the online back end person, but it's overwhelming. But let us know your questions, and we will try our best to try to calm that overwhelm and lead you in the right direction. Do you want to any comment, any thoughts, Mike?
All right. Well, I just wanted to welcome everybody back. I mean, that's lots of wisdom there from Jimmy. It just says there James Stout, but he's actually Jimmy, Stout Healthcare. And if I have questions, actually, I just personally call him and I get all these crazy answers. And I told him I wish we have recorded all the phone calls that I do with him, because there's so much knowledge bombs when you talk to him. Well, anyway, let's just go all through all these questions. And if, like what I said, if you have any questions if you are watching in the Zoom, let me just show everybody in the Zoom. There you go. You see all these people in the Zoom. You see Adrian, the Nangs, the Trixie, Reese, Miss Barbara, and Marjorie there, and Sarah, Diagela, Jeffrey, Heidi, Mario, Marissa, Arlene, Paolo, Latoya, San, Lillian, Martha, Boomy. Guess what? Thank you very much for coming over. I really appreciate you. And also for those people who are watching in the Alternative Careers group. But Emma, we're going to go through all these questions here.
Yeah. Now, do you think, Mike, really fast, can I make a 4-person gallery? Like pin like Shayna? Will I mess things up if I do that? I wanted to have all 4, but I'm not sure. Yeah, shucks. I don't know how.
I'm not the tech person. All right, so can you do it?
I'm trying. I don't think so. Every time I pin, it's just doing a different person big. I can do the gallery view, but then it shows like 20 of us, which is amazing. Woohoo! Everyone wave, actually. Yay! Just kidding.
All right, so do I click speaker view?
Yeah, we'll go back to speaker view.
Speaker view. Okay. All right, there you go. Okay, do you want me to read the question one by one, Emma?
Yeah, let's go through the Q&A. Thank you, Mike.
Okay, I'm gonna close my, what you call this? I hope I'm not closing the Zoom, right? Maybe minimize this. There you go. All right, I see. Technology, right? So nice. If you like technology, type in tech. All right, so first question I'm seeing all the way from the top is Sarah is asking, hi, I'd like to know if this would serve every jurisdiction. I'm from Northeast. This is probably for Shayna. Shayna, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, so, just to give anyone advice, if you're starting your own home healthcare agency, each state is very different. Each state has different rules and regulations. You need to create your own specific or policies and procedures. So we are in all states except for Hawaii.
What? I mean, I wanted to go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Hawaiian dance.
That one was a little tricky. So that we didn't, Hawaii is what we're not in, but we're currently right now in 30 to 32 states. There's 93 people that are currently going through this, but autonomy is the one that navigates your state. So your state can be very challenging. They want to make it really hard. I will let you know that. I will let you know like some like back end drama. I don't know what you call it, but like they're so sick of home healthcare agencies that don't provide value care. Like if you're not focusing on the social determinants of health with your agency, you're going to get rejected a lot. The government does not want this. I know Georgia has had issues. I know Texas has had issues. I'm just learning this as I go along because I'm in the back end with autonomy, but that's autonomy's role is to create that and to navigate through these paths for you because it's really challenging. I've been in the situation where, in Pennsylvania, you have to do a live training. You have to do trainings in order to be qualified for your agency. And I remember sitting there and be like, oh my God, like, they're like, in order to fill out your application, you have to start here and then navigate here and then go here and then here. It was just so complicated. And I kept saying like, I have a master's degree. Like I'm not stupid, but I cannot understand what they're saying. Mm-hmm. They want to make it challenging for you when you are starting a home healthcare agency. And, you need someone in that area that can really understand it and give you good policies and procedures to hold your agency with minimal risk. So yeah, we're in all states except
I would like to say yes to that because the state, they are making it harder for other people to start one because it was so easy to open up before that every other person can open up their own home health agency. So now they're making it harder. Guess what? Just to be honest with you guys, I got rejected too. Apparently, I don't have an associate degree according to that letter. And they said, hey, you don't have an associate degree. We're not approving you for you to open up a home health agency, which is understandable. They probably didn't read my resume and, this just, so you just have to really prove. Now, here's the thing. You have to have people who will actually guide you to go through this process. Just like Shayna said, she did it on her own. It took her a long time to figure it out. And she has a master's degree. We're all professionals here, PT, OT, speech. We're all professionals here, and we probably know how to process it. But guess what? If you do it yourself, it's going to take a long time for you to figure it out. So that's the reason why I partner up with Autonomy, for them to help me, because I don't know the process. It's my first time. Same thing in my immigration stuff. Going through an immigration. Obviously, I'm not an American citizen. I have to hire a lawyer to do all my immigration stuff because I don't know anything about it. Same thing with getting your Medicare Part B. When I actually did my own Medicare Part B application, it took me 8 months to get it. We have a partner here. We have somebody that helps us with Medicare Part B. When I have an employee that I need to add in our Medicare Part B program in our business, it only takes him like 2 or 3 weeks. We get it already. And if I do it myself, it's probably going to take another 8 more months to figure that out because I don't know. And that's the beauty of Autonomy. They're gonna guide us, or you, if you want to sign up to get this program. And same thing with Jimmy. He's going to guide you how to open up your own clinic inside an assisted living. Imagine that. You already have that captured audience in that assisted living. You don't have to travel like me, traveling from one house to another, one group home to another, and he's there in that assisted living. Actually, I have that concept too. I have a quote unquote small contract in an independent living facility here in Jackson. So I hope that made sense. Did that make sense there, Shayna? Okay, if that made sense, please comment makes sense there. Mm-hmm. All right, so let me go some of the questions here again. Marjorie's asking, can we have a copy of the slide? Yes, of course, you can have that. $5. Just kidding. All right. Well, yeah. And then Mario is asking, what will be the startup cost if we are not to start up big? I answered that. You can definitely start up low. I started with just having my LLC, but I have to reword my answer there. It's not a cost. It's not a cost. It's an investment. Okay, it's an investment for you. Because if you think starting a business is a cost, guess what? Everything will be a cost to you. But if you think that this is an investment, not only for you, but for your family and for your future employees, you're going to think, oh, this is a good investment for us. Just like, for example, in a clinic. Okay, in a clinic, I know we call it cost, but in a clinic, we buy TheraBand, right? Who buys TheraBand for your patients? I buy TheraBand. And do you think it's a cost or an investment for your patient? It is an investment. So same thing when you're starting a business. Whatever investment that you put in, whatever coaching program or mentoring program or whatever, if you're going to get Jimmy, Michelle's program or Shayna's program or whatever program outside there, it's an investment, ladies and gentlemen, okay? And so so I have to change my word there. Sorry, Mario.
But I think it would be helpful a little bit to go into, some sort of idea of the startup costs. Michelle or Jimmy, do you guys have, do you remember sort of how much it costs to start up? And I'm not talking about LLC, but just the other little costs. Could you ballpark that for everyone?
Ours was incredibly low. Our rent is very affordable at one of our locations. It's a very small room. We're looking at $200 a month, and then I bought a table for $200. Maybe $2,000 was my startup cost. More costs. I spent thousands of dollars on mentorship. I've spent thousands of dollars on like the guidance through it, but the actual equipment, the startup cost, my personal overhead, my equipment and weight is very minimal. My investment has been in myself through mentorship, through like modeling, also through like billing, because being a great therapist is helpful for your brand and for giving great care, but you also need to learn how to capture how to bill correctly and how to make sure that your cash flow is positive. And I talk about all that as we go through, but yeah, startup costs very, very minimal for us. It can be high, but it's what you make with them. Yeah.
Awesome. How about you, Michelle? Other than the kitchen table.
Yeah, how much is the kitchen table?
Priceless.
Priceless. You can't put any price on that, right?
So starting for me, because I was non-clinical when I started, it really was no more than the LLC, right, which is different by state. But with everything, it was probably $1,000, $1,500. But that was also a non-clinical. That was also a non-clinical avenue, which it was, consulting. So it was me traveling to these individuals. I printed right from my printer at home. So it wasn't, I used a lot of what I could because my goal was to start something for my family and I had to work with what I had. And so I worked with what I had. I literally, they didn't get awesome brochures. They didn't get, a ton of awesome marketing material. I literally printed out a black and white copy of a flyer of the services I could offer. And I had conversations. And I think that's where, when you're starting off, in order to keep costs down, you have to learn how to leverage the skill sets that you have. And you can start something with a very low startup cost. And I think that's where, like Jimmy said, the mentorship and the training and having important conversations with people who have done this, they can help you to they can protect you against making valuable mistakes. I have lost money by taking the wrong turn and spending all of this money on something that if I had just known, if I just had somebody, I wouldn't have done that, right? And so we all learn our lessons, but I think that's where the training comes in and just having somebody to bounce ideas off of and things like that. But yeah, you can start for a very low startup costs.
Awesome.
Perfect. Well, speaking of that, Michelle, I see Lori White here. She would like to connect with you, and she said, would like to connect with you. I'm starting my Part B business. She's also an OT next door to you in Syracuse, in New York, and would like your mentorship. So, yeah, Lori, just go ahead and reach out to her, and
that's what this is about, is connect with these amazing individuals. And we'll provide some more information at the end, but connect with Michelle, reach out to her and get that mentorship. Jimmy, Shayna, Mike, that's what we're here for, is to provide you with that mentorship.
Well, I guess my next question is, what's up with the beautiful light there, Emma? Just kidding. Okay. The next question here from Mario, from Heidi. Is it okay on a legal standpoint to switch from one level to the next, or do you have different LLC for each level? Are we not going to be charged with monopoly? Anybody from the 3 or 4 of you ladies and gentlemen?
So I'm not quite, I don't think I'm understanding with charged with a monopoly of sorts. I know that, Mike, you had commented that you have different LLCs. There are different LLCs for different purposes. You can house a lot of services under one LLC, but you do need to be careful that you're compliant with your state regulations, especially for if you're providing skilled services like PT, OT, like speech therapy, because if you're in a lot of states, New York being one of them, if you are going to practice on a professional level, you do need to be a PLLC. So you have to have gone to your, just like you would be registered with your state when you become a licensed therapist, you go and you get that state registration, and then you're in the Office of Professions, right? The same thing is true for your business, for your practice. So there's entities as well. So there's professional registration with Office of Professions, and then there's entity a registration through the Office of Professions. And so instead of just sending in your application for an LLC, like you would, like I did with Aging with Purpose, a professional LLC, it has to be approved by the Office of Professions, and then they will then forward that, and then it will go to become an LLC. So you just want to make sure. I know offhand that there are at least 5 other states that require a PLLC in order to be compliant with that, in order to offer professional services. So just make sure that when you do go, whatever services that you're rendering, that you know the difference between an LLC and a PLLC, and you're making a phone call. Do not wait 6 to 8 weeks to get your LLC back and then figure out that you also have to have a PLLC. So like New York, you have to have a PLLC in order to be able to bill Medicaid through your company. So that's just something to keep in mind.
Awesome. Yeah,
Just
and I think
in case, I was going to add something. I may have interpreted that a little bit differently, but just in case, the way that was worded was asking, is it okay, for example, for me to be the rendering provider for both home health and then also for outpatient and monopolizing like the total care. Yeah, there's stark law that prevents us from self-referral or kickback, anti-kickback law. You know, I can't generate my own referrals through all these sources. But the way it works, at least in like our building, is that if the ALF is advocating for the care for a resident, even if we've helped in screening, every patient has informed consent to choose. Everybody has a right, you know, the doctor gives a script and they can go wherever they want with it, right? So if they say, you know, you need home health therapy, they can use whatever agency they want. It just so happens that the way partnerships work and the way like, honestly business works is if you have a great relationship with them, it's going to turn into hey, you guys can use whoever you want. The doctor's ordered therapy. We have an in-house therapy. They're partnered with this group. We have had awesome results. Who would you like to use? Yeah, that sounds great. We'll use them. I mean, it ends up that your relationships kind of funnel it. So just in case that was the way that question was worded, always seek, you know, we have a small business lawyer that we would seek counsel on if you ever have a legal question. Certainly, I'm a doctor of physical therapy. I'm not a lawyer, but if you have legal questions, like I would ask my own lawyer for those. I have an accountant. I have paid professionals that help with all areas that I'm not sure with. That being said, there's nothing wrong with you being the rendering provider for all these avenues. And it's not, you know, you're not monopolizing that. You're just simply being the care provider that's in place to be able to provide all those services.
Thank you, Jimmy. That was good. Thank you.
That was amazing. That was amazing answer. But thank you, Jimmy and Michelle, for enlightening us on that topic there. And most of the time, we are just really afraid of just venturing out, and sometimes you really have to have a mentor to actually teach you and guide you. And that's the beauty of this group here. You got like Michelle, you got Jimmy, you got Shayna, you got Emma. And just to tell the truth, I call Emma like almost every day or asking her questions if this is right or not. And that's what the beauty of this mentorship here. So again, thank you very much for all three of you. But people in Facebook.
Should we keep going? Oh, sorry, Mike. I was going to say, should we keep going, or should we talk a little bit about, you know, for those of you on this, we do have a couple programs that if you are interested, we'd like to show you. And we're definitely going to go through the Q&A too. But let us know in the chat if you do want us to show you some of the programs that Michelle and Jimmy and Shayna and Mike have come up with. So let's see here. Should I go ahead or should I wait to the end?
You can go ahead and wait to. You can go ahead, I guess, now.
Okay, that way I know everyone's busy. It's a little bit past 8, so I know a lot of you are probably hungry watching the webinar, and so I'm gonna quickly just screen share these programs, and then we promise we'll finish the Q&A too, and stay on so that you get all your questions answered.
Yeah.
But
Emma, I have a question while you're screen sharing that. People in Facebook says it continues to give broadcasting uninterrupted. You are freezing every 3 seconds. Or are we good in the Zoom? So it's probably just Facebook,
I think it's good in the Zoom. In the chat, how are people seeing and hearing it? How has the chat been? Anyone wanna? So
if you're in the chat, if you're in the Zoom, please comment Is the streaming okay? I guess it's just in Facebook, right?
And this is recording. So what I'll do, I'll put this up in YouTube and I'll put this again in our Facebook channel so that if anyone's having trouble with the streaming, this should be recorded just perfectly fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the Facebook. I'm frozen there with my mouth open, so
Oh
it's
no.
not good.
It always chooses to freeze at the worst time. But I promise we'll get you guys the recording and answer all the questions that you have.
Okay.
But we do have several amazing programs that I really fast want to share. Is each of these individuals, Mike, Shayna, Michelle, Jimmy, they all have amazing programs that they've created to get you from start to finish, to get you that accountability, that mentorship that you're maybe looking for, just so you avoid, the pitfalls that they have experienced while trying to grow their own amazing practices. And each of them we really chose because they're so unique. They don't just provide one level of care. All of them provide this multi-dimensional level of care. But so I guess we'll start with Michelle here. So Michelle has a program to start your own occupational therapy business. This is the complete guide to starting your OT practice. And, we've heard the story about all the different things that she's really, really done in such a short time in her career, and a majority from just her home. So the startup costs are very minimal, and it's very creative, all the different facets that you can provide with OT, and she'll share that with you. But this program is really perfect for someone who wants to create an occupational therapy practice, but with the peace of mind and confidence that it's going to be the right way, like PLC versus LLC. I didn't even know that. Now I have to go back and check and make sure everything's on the up and up. I hope I'm okay. But, there's all these really important things to know about. If you want to save hours of research and stress and just follow these proven methods, each one of these individuals are equally amazing and equally outstanding, not just in terms of their therapy, but in terms of the quality of person they are. Like I'm so proud, and I will say this, whether or not it has nothing to do with this course, but these are the nicest, coolest, and highest quality morally people that I know. And so I just think if you want mentorship, you want it from these outstanding individuals that are just so down to earth and extremely helpful. Like I've already learned so much from Jimmy and Michelle and Mike and Shayna. But if you want to understand how to properly bill insurance and to prevent audits and denials, I think that's really, really important. And just create that multiple streams of income in your occupational therapy practice. This is a wonderful video of Michelle. We'll skip that one. We won't embarrass her. But what you're going to get, and this is just really brief, she shared her story in more detail, but you're going to get that business creation, the understanding of how to market and promote your OT business, the insurance and the billing. And to be 100% frank, this isn't extremely in-depth in insurance and billing, but it's what you need to know to get started for those approvals and to make sure you're just not getting those denials. And just and knowing how to connect and grow and market your OT practice. Now, in each of these programs, there are 2 programs. There's the course, and then we also are doing done for you for each. So for Jimmy and for Michelle and for Mike, we'll help you with every step of the way. So if you just want the knowledge and you're like, I just want, the tips and the tricks, that's totally fine. And you can just get on Michelle's course. But if you feel like you want more of that mentorship, access to myself, Mike, Jimmy, Michelle, Shayna, then we have these done for you programs in each of our courses. So for hers, it includes the course, but also many more programs. I run the Side Hustle School, which is basically like an online business foundations course that goes through webinars, live streaming, video editing, podcasting, the whole gambit, the things that you need to know that you don't know as a PT and an OT. But once you start getting in, like Michelle and Jimmy will tell you, marketing is such a huge, huge area. Will help you, figure out the whole LLC versus PLC, you're also going to get the mentor calls. And that's ultimately the biggest value in each of these programs, is the mentor calls with myself and with Shayna and with Mike. And then I love making websites and logos, so I'm tossing that in too. But that's Michelle's course for you. So if you have any questions about becoming an OTpreneur, you can contact Michelle, or you can go to alternativehealthcarecareers.com/courses/OTpreneur. And what we're doing, this is sort of like a grand launch. Like, we've been working behind the scenes with Jimmy and Michelle and Mike to create these amazing programs. And with this grand launch, we're marketing these programs at half off right now, just because we want to just start helping people and get as many people as possible in these programs. So now is an amazing time to get into these programs. And you can use the code ACG to get half off of the course. And the coupon already is for the Done For You program as well. That's already half off. Do you want to say a little bit more, Michelle, before I go on to Jimmy's course?
Just one thing I guess I would say is, I am not that I am like advocating for myself in any way, but when you begin an OT business of any kind, and you are trying to leverage your skill set and how to explain what occupational therapy is and the value that an occupational therapist brings to the table, it's important to, I think, have support in that, and being able to kind of talk it out and learn how to get past that, oh, what is occupational therapy, right? Like, we all have been asked that. And so being able to learn how to leverage your skill set in a way that people understand is really crucial in moving forward with your OT business, because there is a huge educational component of being an occupational therapy entrepreneur in your own practice. And so that is one of the things that is in this program, is learning how to leverage that skill set. And when you have that done for you piece, and this is with any program, Jimmy's, Shayna's, or Emma's, Mike, like anybody that you choose to say, hey, I need a mentor in this area. The Done For You program is so fantastic, because you get a mentor call and you get exposed to all of us, right? Like a little piece of everybody, which is going to make you a very well-rounded entrepreneur. And you're going to be able to apply different, truth bombs or knowledge bombs from everybody. And that's priceless. It would have saved me a lot of time. It would have saved me a lot of time and money. So this is awesome. That's it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the reason why we created the Done For You is because like on the tech side, I can literally in 1 week get everything set up. Like, we have one person that we're working with, and we're just waiting now on the credentialing, and on the insurance side, we've done everything. And now we're getting even more creative, and we've come up with a trademark name for her amazing brand. And we're coming up with all these wellness programs that we're just doing while we're waiting for insurance. And so, we can, everyone together, working together, can get your business up and running so much faster and with so much more confidence. Exactly. Good. Okay. So Jimmy also has an amazing course, and his course is a little bit different in the fact that it's more focused on the assisted livings. So if you're trying to figure out the two, I feel like that's the biggest difference, is that if you are really, if the assisted living contracting route is appealing to you, I think this Jimmy's course would be a little bit more specific for you. And so in his course, he's going to walk you through how to provide home care as well, because that's part of his model, mobile care, how to contract with assisted living and hospice facilities, basically learning how to create this rehabilitation business that is going to provide you high quality of care, but also that sort of home work balance that you've been looking for. Like, he told me on our webinar for the Remote Therapy Summit that, he just had twin baby boys. And if it wasn't for this, his wife wouldn't be able to really be home and take care of them. And so it's just, these different models are providing you with that with that work-life balance. Same with Shayna. I mean, 10 hours a week is about what she works, and I'm jealous. I want 10 hours a week. And so that's what you're going to learn with his course, is this assisted living, hospice, mobile, and home health contracting course. And we also have the very same done for you, where you're getting his course and then all the additional bonuses, the online business foundations, the how to, earn additional income through adding virtual wellness to your business, helping you with the LLC or the PLLC, and the mentor calls. And so you'll be getting mentor calls with myself and Mike and Jimmy. And I'm even going to do them weekly because I really want to, I'm sort of going to be the project manager. I'm going to be your accountability, like every week being like, did you do this? Did you do your paperwork? How's the trademark going? What's this? And Jimmy's coming in and giving so much value. And in addition, once again, creating that website and logo so that you don't have to worry about the tech. I think with all of these, we want to solve that problem of the technology so that you can just focus on the insurance, the credentialing, the actual treatment, and not have to worry about the technology. And then for Mike is the amazing dementia expert, of course. And so he has created a program that's amazing. That's going to teach you how to be a public speaker for dementia, how to contract with different home health agencies and assisted living facilities, how to create passive income from, I don't know, how many income streams do you have, Mike? I can't even count. I think he has more income streams than I have fingers and toes. And so he's going to walk you through that. And we also have the Done For You program in that as well. Do you want to share anything about that, Mike, before I go on to Shayna's?
I just want to share that now is the perfect time. Regardless, whatever you get, whatever course you get, I mean, whether it's our course or somebody else's course, I think I'm blocking my face. Whatever course you get, is that you have to take action, guys. Whether you get mine or Shayna or Jimmy or Michelle or the bundle that we have, my challenge for you, ladies and gentlemen, now is the perfect time to take action. When will be the perfect time? No, nothing. A lot of us will ask, oh, I got to prepare this. I have to do this. I have to do that. No, now is the perfect time. Now is the perfect time to take action. Why? Because people need your skills there. People need you, ladies and gentlemen. We are all physical therapists, OTs, PTs, PTAs, CODAs, SLPs. The people need you now. They need your encouragement. They need your skills. They need your book. They need your course. They need you out there. Don't be selfish. A lot of us, we're so selfish. Oh, I'm just going to keep this information to myself because I don't want other people to know what I'm doing. Guess what? We don't want to be like that. And the reason why we have this is we want to release the entrepreneurial spirit in you, because I know deep inside the reason why you're here. I know why you're here. I know why you signed up in this webinar, because you want to level up. How do you level up? You level up by starting your own business. You level up by providing that best and awesome service for your client. You level up by networking with other people who are actually doing it. Because like what I always say, you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. Who are you hang out with? Guess what? I was hanging out with Tipa Snow. Guess what? I feel like I'm Tipa Snow. Right now I'm hanging out with Emma. Guess what? She teaches me how to do some electronic stuff, internet stuff. I call Jimmy all the time. Guess what? I started talking to those assisted living. I got like 3 patients there in that assisted living now. And I see them twice a week. That's like 6 extra visits for me in that assisted living. So like what I said, it doesn't matter. You can get our course, you can get mine, you can get my senior course or whatever. But my challenge for you, ladies and gentlemen, is to push yourself to the next level. Find people, somebody that will actually guide you to your next level. And this is what we're offering right now. And this is why our challenge. Reach out to Emma if you want to know more about technology or side hustle or whatever. If you just want to be awesome and beautiful like her, just reach out to her. If you want to learn more about being a beautiful OT like Michelle, reach out to her. How to start her own Part B, home modification or whatever she's doing. If you want to learn more about assisted living, contracting, creating your own clinic in an assisted living, home health, or whatever, reach out to Jimmy. And if you want to learn more about how to serve older adults, how to serve DIDD or intellectual disability patient, reach out to Shayna. And if you want to learn and be just crazy like me in treating dementia, reach out to me, okay? Shameless plug, crazy Michael. So that's my spiel there, Emma.
And if you're wondering, so on the roundtable page has each of the email addresses for Shayna, for Jimmy, for Michelle. So each of them you can see here, they've got it. So if you just want to go to alternativehealthcarecareers.com/business roundtable, you'll see Mike's email, Jimmy's, Michelle's. That way you can ask them targeted questions and they can really help you. That way you make sure that they're the right mentor for you. You know, we want to provide these amazing resources, but we want to make sure it's right for you. So if you go to the roundtable, you'll have each individual email addresses. So it's really easy. You can, of course, probably just Facebook message us as well. But that's where their email addresses are. And for the courses, right now they're half off. So when we really full-fledged launch this, there's so much incredible information and unique information. These courses will be $997, but right now they are half off with the code ACG because we want to start serving people. And right now is actually the best time too, because this is brand new and we're a small group. So you are going to get even more individual attention than in the future. So, and then one last thing before I go to Shayna's is that, like, my biggest regret is not starting sooner. Like, I wish that I would have met Mike sooner. I wish I would have met Michelle, Jimmy, and Shayna sooner, and so, like, right now is the best time because 12 weeks from now, 10 weeks from now, 12 months from now, life is always going to get busy. And so now is the best time.
Okay. I wish I could have met you all when I was single.
Don't let your wife hear that, Mike.
Just kidding. Right.
So for Shayna's, I can't offer 50% on Shayna's course, unfortunately, on her program. I think
she had it, right?
But what we do have with Shayna is we have a whole page on her home health agency model. If you go to alternativehealthcarecareers.com/autonomy, and you can see every single step of it. There's the videos that you can watch, all the interviews that we've done with Dennis Sticker, the CEO, and Shayna. It's got the infographics here. And basically what she's providing is the home health, or Autonomy is providing the home health care agency establishment, which includes getting your LLC, getting the credentialing, getting the attorney reviews, the mentorship and training from Dennis Sticker and other wonderful individuals like Mike and Shayna, the back office management. And then what we're doing to help this as well is that we are including Mike, certified dementia practitioner, CU program, my side hustle school, and my virtual wellness program, because I think that all three of those will really make sure that your home health care agency really flourishes. And all of these are included also in each of the courses and Done For You programs that Shayna has and Jimmy has and Mike has too. So, you're getting all these wonderful bonuses no matter what program you choose. But that's just my little soapbox. Thank you so much for listening to us. And if you have any questions, reach out to these amazing mentors, reach out to me, alternativehealthcarecareers@gmail.com. And go get these. Go get them. 50% off with code ACG. Okay.
Let you know, Autonomy is 50% off right now too until we are supporting 100 agencies. So we make it pretty affordable for everyone. You can get started with your agency paying $250 a month over a period of 4 months, so $1,000. And then once your agency is up and running and approved, then you pay the rest of the amount. So for that option, that's a total of $5,000, but that's over a 20-month period. And by the second month, your agency, you have clients, you're already well over making that. But our other option is 50% off too, and that is a total of $2,500. And a lot of people always ask, like, how do I compare like this? Like, you essentially create like my home healthcare agency. So I would say if you want to look up prices, like look up what a franchise cost is. We're not a franchise, but we do the services that a franchise does, but we support you as your agency gets started. And most franchises start anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 for a home healthcare agency. So I think we're pretty good in terms of $2,500 for getting you up and running.
Definitely. And do they need to use a code or anything, Shayna, for that, or that's just automatic?
No, that's just that's just automatic. Yep.
Awesome.
Just
and you know
use
what
the
I'll
code
do is
ACG.
don't even worry about the code. I'm going to make all the prices automatically 50% off. So you don't even have to worry about any code. I'll make it tech free. So I'll do that on the back end tonight. But go ahead and we just encourage you to take action. These are amazing mentors, and we're really here to help and take action and just make sure that you're doing it the right way. I think that's the thing, is that the more and more I get involved with business, I realize like it's confusing, it's scary, it's tricky, it's stressful, and your loved ones don't know anything. Like, I'm always asking my fiance, and I'm always yelling at him like, why can't you help me? And so it's nice to have these mentors that then you can get help from.
I was just going to put in another plug-in too. I know that for Michelle and our course, if somebody does purchase the course, the videos, the content there, that course, you're going to have lifetime access to that. Yeah. So if somebody's on the fence about, should I buy this now? Is this something, maybe I'm thinking of doing this down the road? It is 50% off now. That's awesome. That's a great deal. But you'll still be able to reference these videos in this course content at any point. There may be limited access in terms of, I'm going to have mentorship calls and access to me personally, and that won't be indefinite, but access to the course will be lifetime for both our programs. So at this rate, just wanted to let you know that if you purchase it now, but then you kind of go through the material a little bit later, we'll work with you and we'll talk with you. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, definitely. I know it's stressful sometimes, people are starting to transition with COVID. And so, it's challenging balancing work and that, but you're exactly right, Jimmy. You're going to have this for life. And so, you can get this and go at your own pace. Now, we will be bugging you and making sure you're accountable. So we're really going to try to push the fact that now is a great time to start, but you can definitely go at your own pace. Good point.
Yeah, and I like what you mentioned about doing it at your own pace. You're not in competition with other people. You're not in competition with somebody else. You do this at your own pace because you're only at competition with yourself. Okay, so when you sign up, you do the course, don't compare with other people, because obviously other people will probably overtake you. They've started their own clinic already, and I've seen this, I've seen that. You know what? If I'm going to compare myself to Jimmy, I was just talking to Jimmy like 2 years ago. We met at Florida, and he was just talking about how he started his thing, how he's starting his thing. He was just even asking me all these questions, and I feel like I know more than him, and now I'm asking him. So, don't compare yourself to other people. Run your own race, yeah. Run your own pace, and then slowly but surely you do it. Okay, slowly but surely you'll do it. Okay, so that's what I learned from Jimmy. He would tell me, remind me, Michael, don't do this too fast, because he's just a good mentor to me. All right, well, I guess you want to run some of those questions. I know some of our speakers are tired, and I'll try to answer some of the question here real quick. Are you still okay, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. All right. I'm going to just read some of the questions here real quick. Emma, do you still have any more stuff to share?
No, let's go through the questions. Yes, okay. Shayna's is lifetime. Yep, Shayna's is lifetime.
Okay. How about you, Michelle? Can you be lifetime with me, or
Michelle's is lifetime too? All the online components.
Can you be my lifetime coach? Yes. Jimmy, can you be my lifetime friend? All right. Okay. All right. So, oh gosh, I got to read here. Okay. I'm getting old. I would make fun of my mom doing this before. Now I'm doing it. My kids are making fun of me. All right. So it says here, Marjorie is asking, is it necessary to have a business partner to start with a business? And what will be the estimated cost to begin with? Let me answer that real quick. The only ship that doesn't sail is partnership. Okay. If you want to start a business, you want to start it with yourself or start it with your spouse. Okay. So we don't recommend partnering up with somebody else, not unless you really trust that person. Because like what they always say, the only ship that doesn't sail is partnership. Because there'll be some business decision that will be too hard for you to decide, and it will be really hard. So you might as well start it on your own. One of the main reasons why a lot of people do partnership because they're just afraid to do it on their own. Guess what? When you have a coach, you won't need a partner. You need an accountability partner. Your accountability partner will be your coach, your mentor. Okay, I hope that makes sense. But of course, if you want to start a business with a partner like your friend, and you really trust each other, go ahead. I'm not stopping you. But most of the time, even Emma, she told me, Michael, do you want to be in partnership with this? No, I'll be your 1099. I don't want, you do the decision, you do the business there, and because that's my experience. That's my experience. And even with the clinics I know here, they have partnership. Now they're suing each other. I hope they're not in this group. You know what I mean? So they're friends, but they're suing each other. All right, I'll stop talking. There is another question here. Diagela says she already has her home care company. There you go. And she has PTOT and ST and the ALF and sometimes at patient's home. I actually been doing it since 2016. That's good. My question is, if I wanted to expand and follow this, do I need to open a new company? Jimmy, I think you're going to be the best person to do this, to answer this.
So, like anything, you can have as many companies as you want. My wife and our company, we've grown, and we're now in 4 different assisted living communities, and we're going to be in others in down the year, or as the year goes on. We have just one company. Well, we actually have 2, but we're not making new companies for each new ALF that we're a part of. We're not adding to it. There's nothing wrong with your brand. I'll answer it this way. There's all sorts of options you could do. You could do business as and still have a parent company. You can structure that way. You can also keep it under the same company. A lot of it has to do really with your CPA and your accountant, because if you have different cost centers and you're counting like one building here, one building here, one building here as cost centers, it's good to know for your financial health, what is my cost center here doing? How's it producing income? What's my cash flow look like versus this one versus this one? Our EMR allows us to do all that. It keeps track of it all. So we don't have a need to have a whole new company for each place, though we could, and some people will. So the answer is whatever serves you best. It may be a great question for your accountant, but you don't need to, or you could. Either way works.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Jimmy. And that's the value that I get when I call Jimmy. There you go. And actually, he talks more than that. It's like 60 minutes at a time. He only stops when he only stops when the kids are there. He's be like, "Oh, Michael, I'm leaving. The kids are here." So, all right, Jimmy. I hope I didn't embarrass you there. Okay. Marissa is asking, I am a plain PT working in SNF. I'm interested to put up my home health agency. What will I do first? First thing that you need to do, Marissa, you remove that plain PT word. You're not a plain PT. Okay. You're an extraordinary PT. All right. You're extraordinary. You're extraordinary PT. First of all, your name is Marissa. You know what Marissa means? You know what Marissa means? Marissa means excellence. Marissa means awesome. Marissa means great. So you're not just a plain PT, okay? And then what will the first thing you need to do? Reach out to Shayna. Reach out to Shayna if you want to start your home health agency. Second thing you need to do, you take action. You take action by reaching out to her, take action by signing up with her emails, set up a call with her and with Dennis, the CEO, and that will be your first action there. Okay. Heidi said, I feel like I'm a reader here, right? Reading. Am I good, Emma? Are we still good, ladies and gentlemen?
You're good. I'll be on as long as people need me to be.
Okay.
I drank some coffee earlier.
Drink some coffee. Heidi said we will invade Hawaii. So there you go. Go ahead, invade Hawaii. So, okay. Jeffrey has a great question here. Wellness care is billable under Medicare Part B. Is that correct, Jimmy or Michelle?
So wellness is not covered by Medicare, regardless of Part A or Part B. So great place to provide cash therapy. We can talk about maintenance down the road, but wellness is a non-covered service.
Perfect. Thank you for answering that. So wellness is not billable under Medicare Part B. Diagel is asking, is Optometry a franchise? No, it's not. Yes, it's, oh, somebody already answered that. She's also asking, what's the cost of having Optometry create this business model for me? She already answered that. It's $2,500 as of now, because it's there's a discount. So when you sign up in their website, just make sure to put in that you learned it from us here in ACG. So we get the whole credit. No, just kidding. So I was just kidding. So just make sure, so we would know, at least we know where did we get it. And then I guess.
Well, it's especially important to do that, because that way then we know the bonuses. So, without knowing who's signing up for what program, it's really tough for us to make sure that we get you those bonuses. So when you sign up, what you can also do is just reach out to us and say, hey, I've signed up. I'd love my bonuses if you choose Shayna's program. And then we'll get you enrolled for free in Mike's CU certified dementia program, and then the virtual wellness and the side hustle school. Definitely. So just, make sure to reach out to us or to Shayna when you do sign up, so that we can make sure to give you the right goodies, because everyone loves goodies. Right. I wanted to spend a little bit more time in the Done For You program, because I think each one of these individuals, well, Shayna's program is done for you already, but we have a course because we know that some people just want to learn on their own. For Jimmy and Michelle and Mike's, for the dementia, for the ALF, and for the occupational therapy. But I really encourage you to look at the Done For You, just because it's going to alleviate a lot of the questions. With the online course, you're not getting the mentorship. You're getting the ideas and the knowledge, but the mentorship really comes with the Done For You. And so if you're going to look on the website and look at the difference, that's the biggest difference, is the Done For You, as well as, the bonuses that we've tossed in. But it's the website and the graphic creation, and it's the mentorship, the marketing, the just leading you through those different steps. If you have a question, we're going to email you, we're going to give you a call, and we're going to walk through it. It is, for each of the Done For You programs, it is a 3-month program. So we unfortunately can't provide weekly calls for life. I wish I could. But I just want to mention that, with 100% clarity, that it's a 3-month program, but we hope that everything will be, squared away in that 3-month period for you. And we'll try to provide our best continued mentorship afterwards, but we won't be able to do, as much of the individual calls and individual mentorship. But that's, I think, what really stands out between the course and the program, is that it's talking with Jimmy, it's talking with Shayna, it's talking with Michelle. And I mean, my mind is blown every single conversation I have with them. I feel like I learn 10 times what I would if I tried to do it on my own.
There's the last question here. Thank you, Emma, for doing that. There's the last question here from San P. I have a PC. Do I need to get LLC instead? Anybody out there who wants to answer? Jimmy, Michelle, Shayna. I'm not an accountant, so.
Same thing as kind of what I said before. So a personal corporation is not the same as an LLC or PLLC. You're going to want to look in your Office of Professions website for your state. So the same site that you're going to go to look up your license number, you want to find out what your state requires in order to practice your profession as an individual or starting your own business. It's all laid out for you. Some states will allow you to practice under an LLC or a PC. Other states, you have to have a PLLC. So you need to go to your Office of Professions website to look at what they require of you.
You know what? That's true. That's true. It also depends on your state. So it's so true. All right. Well, again, I think if you don't have any questions, ladies and gentlemen, I know all our speakers are just awesome. And if you have any questions or any concerns or any violent reaction, sometimes I get some violent reaction. I get all these private messages. Michael, I hate your energy. You are so positive. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to block you. So if you have any violent reaction or something like that, see, even my phone is moving or my camera is moving. If you have any questions, reach out to Jimmy, if you reach out to Shayna, to Emma, and to Michelle. And if you have any money concerns, don't reach out to me. I'm going to send you $1 million. You see that $1 million there? If you want $1 million, shoot me a message. I'm going to send this to you because it's just awesome to get $1 million, right? Again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, everyone who is still in the call. Again, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And before I let you go, Emma, do you have any last parting words?
Nope, you're good. Do it, Mike.
All right. Before I let you go, ladies and gentlemen, always remember the word fast, F-A-S-T. Why? You want to take action fast because speed wins. Speed wins. You want to take action fast. So letter F, find friends that will push you to your next level because you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. So whoever you hang out with, guess what? That's going to be you. I'm hanging out with the awesome Jimmy Stout. I'm hanging out with Shayna Young. I'm hanging out with Emma. I'm hanging out with Michelle. Guess what? I know I'm going to be awesome because I'm just an average guy. I just put the extra there on the side so I could be an extra average guy, right? So find friends that will push you to your next level. Letter A. Letter A. Is that letter A? This is, my shoulder. I need an OT. Oh, gosh. Ow. Letter A. You got to learn how to take action, guys. Take action. Imperfect action beats perfect in action. You got to learn how to take action. Take action by reaching out to our coaches here, Shayna, Jimmy, Michelle, and Emma. Reach out to them. Take action. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right. The next letter. Oh, gosh, I need to exercise. Next letter, letter S. You got to learn how to shoot for the moon. Shoot for the moon. Why? Because when you keep shooting for the moon, guess what? You're going to miss it. You're going to miss it. You're going to be eventually landing with the stars. Right now, I'm landing with the stars. You're going to fail, ladies and gentlemen. You will be rejected. You will fall. You will fail. But it's not how many times you fail or fall or got sick. It's how many times you get up and do this all over again. Guess what? I think it was a month ago. I called Jimmy. Jimmy, there's this assisted living. Don't want me to come back anymore. I failed there. But did that stop me from keep doing it and going to other assisted living? Guess what? No. The Shayna Young, she knows it. I got rejected, from that application there. Does that stop me? No. Emma knows that I get rejected every day. It's not how many times you fail, ladies and gentlemen. It's how many times you do this all over again. It doesn't have to be perfect. The course that we're launching, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. Somebody probably has a more robust program there, but does that stop us? No. So just keep pushing forward, ladies and gentlemen. And last but not the least, time out because we're done. No, letter T is teach it. Why? Because when you hear it, you forget. When you see it, you remember. But when you're actually teaching it, you're actually understanding it more. What does our coaches are doing? Jimmy, he's teaching us. Guess what? He's going to learn more when he's teaching us now. Shayna Young, she does this every day. She's teaching this every day. Now she's memorized probably about autonomy. Michelle, she's teaching it every day. Guess what? I'm teaching you guys how to be a dementia expert. I become the dementia expert. So teach it, ladies and gentlemen, teach it. Once you've learned it from us, teach other people. Teach other people. All right. Again, thank you very much. Any
Thank
last
you.
parting words from our coaches? Are we good?
We're good. Thank you so much, everyone. If you have any questions, let us know. AlternativeHealthcareCareers.com is the website, and AlternativeHealthcareCareers@gmail.com if you have any questions. And we'll see you in our next Winning Wednesday webinar.